What's going on, creators? Yeah, just want to get on here and bring everybody back to now. Appreciate you being here and vibing with me for a bit. Yeah, today just going to give a little update what's going on with the handyman business and kind of the progress on the cafe, and everything is going on. We got our chickens now. We got I think 6 or 7 chickens, one turkey, which is a little bit odd. I got a back area in my yard. It's basically, I don't want to say it's like a barn, but it's not like a shed either. I mean, it's big enough you could stick a car in there. And I've been spending the last couple weekends really making it structurally sound and cleaning it out. And Jesus, is there a bunch of spiders in there? It was insane. I've seen some of the biggest spiders I've ever seen in my life in there, in highly concentrated amounts of those spiders too. Maybe a black widow, I don't know. A huge black spider. I seen one that had a red body and like a white belly. I've never seen a spider like that, and it looked really poisonous and intimidating. And so kind of going to it's Friday now, so over the weekend, get the final clearing it out. I guess we got a week or two, maybe 3 weeks until the chickens get their feathers, which is when you can bring them outside. And so at the moment they're upstairs in a I think it's like a 75-gallon reptile tank, and very, very surreal at the moment. It's weird that's come together as fast as it did. But like on the other front, we got a garage sale going on. And let me get you guys this picture. I told you guys I'd in the last stream I had a picture on my phone of like the building me and my wife painted. And that was an ordeal because my paint sprayer broke, and ended up still knocking it out in a couple days, and it turned out really neat. The guy got a lot more of the cedar on, the cedar trim, and let me just show it to you guys. And so and so this is like the building I painted. This is like the original color. He added those cedar planks, but this is what it looked like when we're done. And so he has 4 awnings that are getting reupholstered, and you can kind of see them by this dumpster, like a maroon red color. I think he asked me what I thought color wise it should be. I told him maybe like a silver or like a chrome or like a lighter color, might look cool with the black on cedar. I think he's going to paint the door or do something different with the door. But that's like in my town, there's maybe, I don't know, 10,000 people, 12,000. I don't really know. It's like my town is like big enough for a Walmart and a Lowe's and another pretty big grocery store, so just like normal mid-sized, town, I guess. But this is like pretty much like in the downtown. Next to it, there's a coffee house. There's a lot of foot traffic that goes in this area. My wife, she works in this thrift store right next to there, like a day or two out of the week. So it was kind of fun, for her too, because she was out there, and she gets to see the stuff we did together as a team, which is pretty cool. Hopefully continue on. That's a bank across the street, and then it's all the cedar. He's gonna replace this piece up here eventually, I guess. But that was that job. Now on to the next, which is a checklist item. I started as like the flooring job, which I can show you guys that one too while I'm just doing this, because it's right below it. Oops. It's right next to it here. This is that flooring job. I was doing basically right on top of this paint job, and that's how it turned out. It's just like a laminate floor. It's like a click together floor. Today I ended up putting this strip, the divider strip, and laid all the quarter round down, painted this white baseboard, so that room's really come together. I didn't get any pictures because there's just like the people that bought this house are now moving into it. So where it was like completely empty, it was completely filled with boxes and furniture that were just in the middle of the room, and it didn't make a very, very nice picture, and so I didn't take one. I figured this is kind of good enough. I like this pattern of this floor. Turned out kind of neat, and and so I'm back to that house, finishing up a checklist item. And so Monday I go back over there to I gotta change a toilet out, I gotta replace a vanity and hang a pre-hung door, and then I'm pretty much done there. And then on to the next checklist, which is like another house. I've already got a deposit for that. Half the money has already been paid to me, and so it's kind of like I don't want to say like a stressful thing of like, but there's like some of it a pressure of like, I need to get this done. I need to get this done. And then then there's like the barn that needs painted, and I need to order a new pump for my sprayer, which is a new little drama. But hopefully that all goes smooth and everything. And then you never know what will happen when the phone rings. It's part of like the excitement, but then also as a double edge at times, because there's a fear of like, oh, you never know what's going to happen. But then you can almost transmute that and like change that more into excitement, because like changing that mindset of like from resistance to momentum. It's like anything can happen. Something awesome could just be on the other end of that phone, or I have an email. I get emails like recently in the past 3 months or so. I got a guitar job. Recording some tracks for it was like a documentary type vibe. Is someplace out in San Francisco. Got a hold of me and recorded a sound alike, basically, just a guitar track, and licensed it to them. And so you never know what's going to happen. That's part of like the excitement and part of like the kind of the fun energy when you're not maybe in victim mode, which is I get this like pretty regularly because I was so into it. There's a lot of that in my inner being that I'm working on letting go. So it's not surprising when a lot of that stuff starts to like present itself again. And then I get like somewhat triggered by it because I just like, you're not a victim. And you just want to shake people. But then at the same time, it's like everybody's on their own kind of flow. And there was a time I was in that same boat, and so I try not to get like angry at the person. It's just more of like that mindset. I just loathe it because through my own personal experience of life, I just know it's not like that, and so much of it, has to do with what your mental diet consists of, especially if you're down on like a feedback loop of just drama, just paying way too much attention to what's going on in the world, listening to, you really start looking at a lot of that shit as like almost toxic, almost like unhealthy for you, and a lot of it's not even real or true. So it's like getting caught up in the dramas of what's going on in the media, and they sell drama. It's like they're not selling truth. I mean, there's just very, very limited points of view and least common denominator, and it's so polarizing because it gets attention, and so it's like, really, if you start looking at things with a different kind of mindset and realize, hey, this is sensationalism to get my attention and to keep me on their platform so that they can sell that attention to some advertiser or something. It's like, social media, any of these types of things, you look at everything as a neutral if it doesn't trigger you, but it's like if it is triggering you because it's like it doesn't feel like it represents you as a person or your values or your beliefs or your assumptions. You're looking at it and it feels foreign. It feels like it's like the opposite. It's like you just either take a break from it, unplug it. Because life is so much different when you're not getting triggered through shit on a screen. And really, one of the things that bothers me about like maybe YouTube land and stuff, you're just constantly just flooding your consciousness with other people's perspectives, is like, the perspective that matters is that inner guidance system within you. It's like you don't need to keep going to this outer source, this external illusion. It's like, oh, some expert knows something. It's like, you connect with God within you and start to develop that more and more so that's your go-to. Not, oh, what's blah 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 on YouTube say, oh, what's this person on social media say, oh, what's this influencer say, oh, what's this celebrity say, what's this musician. It's like, what do you say? It's like you don't put people on a platform or a pedestal. We're all the same. We're all just people trying to figure shit out. Some people, have different maybe life experiences, or maybe have focused in an area that they've grown in that's maybe a different level, because as you become more present and more still, and you're really focusing on, staying at peace and staying in joy, and really, walking the path of love and staying in flow in the present moment. It's like, you start to realize that, things are really more vertical, up and down versus like a linear progression. You can look at it as quantumly, the quantum field in the present moment type thing. A lot of the new thought of like Neville Goddard and just and Napoleon Hill, Joseph Benner. There's so many books and so many perspectives, and you can go down that David Hawkins. I mean, there's so many good perspectives on kind of mindsets and the walk of faith, and but then there's a difference where you're just like you're putting things in action. So it's like getting out of theory land into changing your life, your new life, and when it's like, oh, and it's easy to get triggered by this shit, where it's like, well, did you hear what's going on with the fill in the blank? Oh, some protest drama, some social injustice, some tyrannical situation, some hypocrisy, some upside down and backwards story. Just turn the shit off. It's like really start focusing on your life. That's what you can control, your state of being in your life, and you can be, do, or have anything. If you start moving in that direction, the new you can do anything. The old you, that's just an ego that thinks you're a body and that you're some separate little thing, and you're a victim from someone outside of you doing something to you. That's a red flag. Because we're all connected. It was like, part of like the egoic consciousness is seeing separateness and then wanting to fight against it and battle it. It's like constantly just in a state of war, and just, I got to destroy that that thing that's not connected with me. It's separate from me, and so I want to destroy it because I don't like it, and it makes me feel superior in the battle. Battling with it. These are all kind of red flags, but so any of this type of shit that you might be experiencing in your life that's just not helpful for your mental diet or your mental well-being, turn the shit off. You don't need it. Trim the fat, basically, and focus on feeding your mind and your subconscious and your conscious mind positive information. Focus on the good. Focus on what you can be thankful about. Focus on what you have now and steward what you have. Don't get in, part of like maybe the law of attraction. There's a guy, he's got a really interesting channel. I like his perspective. Kind of like what he's doing. I've shared it a couple times, but I just watched something of his not that long ago. It was Be Something Wonderful. And he was talking about kind of the difference between the law of attraction versus like the law of assumption, which is more of a Neville Goddard teaching, which really like the Neville Goddard teaching is really just biblical, a biblical teaching, a way to understand what Jesus was saying, that whatever you ask for, believe that you've received it and it's yours. And it's just a different perspective of someone who is doing now, and how that worked out, and some of the stumbling blocks and stuff. But the thing with like the law of attraction is it's like some external force, some external thing that you have to draw to you. When it's more about being, embodying a state of consciousness now, and so if you get into this old man mentality of a victim, where there's some separate force out there that's out to get you and holding you back and keeping you from your dreams, and just tormenting you and this and that, and you're blaming it, and that's old man mentality. You're new, you're blessed. Get out of that victim mentality. You're blessed right now, and so start really living in that state of being blessed now, and let go of the resistance of saying that you're cursed, that you deserve to suffer, and that it needs to just be shit on, and everything else. And that's all part of this old man mentality. That's not who you are anymore. And so part of like the new man is embracing who did God create you to be. It's about identity. It's really a a big deal of your what's the term? It's like identity is probably maybe the simplest to understand, but it's this concept of self is maybe another label, but it's just how you see yourself, and so much of things maybe you push away because you don't feel worthy, because you have some programming from the old man that needs to be let go of, and in doing a business, I feel like a big part of like the problem I have like in finding people. Well, now I got basically every business in town is like hiring. It's like no employees anywhere. It's just being mirrored all over the place. It's ridiculous, and part of that, not taking it seriously. The ego likes everything has to be serious. It's just drama, drama, drama. And it's like, I get it, and so much of like kind of my progression in life has been dealing with resistance, and like kind of getting drama, overcoming, and it's like that's where I'm at now. But this does not mean that's how it's going to be in the next now, and the next now, and because it's always now when these things are going on. So it's like the more you can stay in flow, stay out of your mind, and really just in your environment and your surroundings, focus on what you can be thankful about now. Focus on your family. Start trying to repair some of these relationships that maybe have gone to shit because you want to wake them up so bad. That you're just becoming difficult to be around. It's like start being more mindful of how your energy is affecting others, because there's and this is, I'm a lot of times talking to myself in this way, because it's like, there's a lot of times where I just, I want to just wake these people up so they can vibe with the way I vibe. But it's like, why do I need that validation? Why do I need that? I don't really need that, and there's probably a reason why there's so much, almost like little downloads and little spiritual oddities that happen when you're trying to I don't know, I don't say manipulate people, but just bring something to their consciousness that they're just not in a receiving mode. They're not ready to receive it or want to receive it, and part of like kind of the flow I'm kind of getting more is just unconditionality, just trying to appreciate people for who they are, which can be difficult, maybe because you want to oh, if you're only this way, if you're only just a little bit more fill in the blank, then I'd like you a little bit more. But trying to get more into like being the first one to put the olive branch out, try to see something positive in them. This is years ago, but I was working with this guy, and I can't even remember how many years ago it was, but he at first really kind of rubbed me the wrong way with I wouldn't say his attitude, but he's like kind of an asshole, and not really probably conscious of it. He just kind of had this weird energy that kind of just rubbed me the wrong way, but I could tell on some level he was trying to joke around then too. So it was like this weird balance of like joking mixed with like, I can't tell if you're being serious or you're being an asshole, if you're trying to be funny. It's like that kind of weird in between. And I just kind of made up my mind. It's like, I just want to, he's trying to be funny. He's just not, it's not a strike. He's not hitting the mark very well on that. But like try to, see the humor and see that. And this was like before like seeing kind of like the Neville Goddard shit of like revision and all these like kind of mental alchemy things, or trance or whatever. There's so many different ways to say this stuff, but like but we ended up becoming more and more friends. The longer we worked together, and there was times he got really triggered with me and just flew off the handle a few times, but yeah, we ended up becoming friends, and that the humor ended up standing out more. So I guess the point of what I'm trying to say is, try to focus, on the good in people and start drawing that out more. And that's something I'm, telling myself when it comes to like hiring people, because like I can get real, I don't say picky, but it's like I get real kind of nervous, and part of this growing and expanding is getting uncomfortable and pushing through it. It's like, just with like my handyman business, and there's like little jobs of like, little 30-minute thing, changing a switch or something, and you can, do these things, but it's like, kind of my progression is like, it's kind of expanding in the scale, bigger jobs, bigger stuff, bigger obstacles, and bigger risk, bigger reward type things, but none of it feels like, it feels like a little bit above where it feels comfortable but doable. It's like when I like in skateboarding is a really good way to visualize it, because it's like as you start to get better and better, like what your limit starts to grow, your vision starts to grow. So it's like, oh, I feel like I can really nail this like ollie or pop shove it. I just do pop shove it. It's like I feel like I can really nail this pop shove it on a 3-stair. I've been landing it just off of ledges. Yeah, I've been landing it on flat ground. I feel confidence, and then there's the stairs. It's like I feel like I can do it, and so you wouldn't go from doing ledges and having that just a hair above where you feel comfortable at the 3-stair. You wouldn't be doing a 10-stair, it would be too much, and you just your mind, your consciousness would just shut it down. It's like, no, that's too dangerous, you're gonna hurt yourself. And that's part of that inner, sometimes you almost want to battle with the ego, but so many times just trying to keep yourself safe from danger, and it's just reinterpreting what God has already given you, so it's like, not to say that you're broken and you got something wrong with your mind, it's just recognizing what it is, and it's like, oh, it's just trying to keep me safe from danger. It's just happening automatically. It's just doing its job. Good job, ego mind. But I'm going to push it a little bit more. It's okay to let this hit the subconscious. Look at it as like kind of the blocker to the subconscious. Because like the subconscious will just accept and impress anything, and then start to externalize that more and more. So God does this in miraculous ways. But like through connecting the dots backwards, a lot of times you should start to as my dog scratching, start to connect the dots backwards, and it starts to make sense. Maybe not so much in the moment, but as you look back, and it's like, oh, I can see how a lot of my maybe limiting belief played out in this way, and as a result there's this scenario, and this is how I interacted with this person, and so much of it's all connected, because we are all connected, and a lot of times we're just mirroring things back to each other, in like a helpful way. If you look at it in a helpful way, it could be in a very traumatic way if you with the wrong kind of maybe with a victim mentality, look at everybody out to get you or something, but like it's just that hair above where you feel comfortable, and getting used to like pushing yourself. But it's not the outer, it's so satisfying though when you stick it, and you're just like, oh, I got some drama, I don't know what's going to happen, and then you face that fear, and as you face the fear, it's almost like automatically the old thoughts, the old stagnation, the old kind of just loops that you can get into, thinking the same things, doing the same things, living this Groundhog Day of whatever. And if you're in a negative spiral that's just like anger, then it's like you're getting in a fucked up feedback loop, where you're just getting more and more worse, and more angry situations, more and more drama, and more separateness. But when you realize that you're connected to the drama, and that drama started from within you, and by letting it go, by David Hawkins' book, Letting Go, The Pathway to Surrender, was really helpful for me in kind of getting a different perspective in that. But at the same time, whatever way, that inner guidance is telling you, to handle these resistances and these limiting beliefs, it's like if you don't feel worthy, it's hard to, if someone says, hey, you're blessed, and it's like, I would love to see you abundant and prospering, your dreams coming true, and you have everything going right for you, and things really coming together, your family working out better, your marriage being more in lockstep, your kids are on track, everything's going good, yeah, and really taking ownership of that in your own life. If that isn't the case, if everything's a train wreck, stop blaming the outside and really take ownership for what's going on in your life, because sorry to say it, but it's probably you. uh, and but once you take ownership of it, then you can change it. It's like, oh, if it is me, then I can change it. So there is a good side to that as well. But sometimes you gotta be blunt, and stop just blaming shadows. But like yeah, and so I wanted to bring that to you guys, to just kind of share what's going on with me and kind of what's going on in my mind at the moment. Continuing to I got to do like the accounting for the month. I'm going to meet with the accountant eventually. I'm going to try to get that scheduled. I've just been so busy. You feel like every between 9 and 5 is just like a blur, and at the same time my phone's been just going off, and this, I just want to give it to my wife and be like, can you just please just, I'm gonna try to figure out how to like screen these calls or have a calling service or something, figure this out, because it's wasting a lot of time. I end up snapping at I don't like doing business over the phone. I especially don't like doing business over the phone with people I've told I don't like doing business over the phone to stop calling me, and then they keep calling me. Home advisor, stop calling me, and I don't want to do business with you. And because you won't stop calling me. It's like, same with Google. It's ridiculous. And like, yeah, but like, yeah, just wanted to kind of share what's going on. We got the chickens, we got that. I want to get the accounting, and then kind of see where things are for the month. This is like, I think this is like the last day, and we start over in May, and so yeah, and so whatever happened this month, hopefully have the next month have a goal to double that, because really taking everything from the handyman business, paying the bills, buying food, doing the normal things, but then taking the extra to finance the cafe, so we can make that come together. I think that'd be awesome for the community, and an awesome thing for my wife and everybody involved. I think it's a win-win for everybody, and yeah, and also in sharing that with you guys, so you guys can do that too. I really feel like self-employment, entrepreneurship, creating in general is really a big part of being happy and living your new life. The life that God created you to live. You're not a slave. You're not cursed. You're blessed, and so hopefully. I love hearing people's stories about what's going on, what you're doing to make a positive change in your community, what you're building, what kind of business you're creating, all that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff is exciting to me. I like talking about that stuff, and I like to see how others are, what they're doing, and what's going on in their bubbles. And hopefully, if you are having a business, and if you're just been basically making a pendulum where you're just working and working and working all every single day from sun up to sundown, and just putting out fucking drama storms and chaos and just stress and anxiety and ulcers and can't sleep, all that kind of shit. Hopefully bring you some peace, and definitely maybe enlighten you to the reality of faith, having faith that your business is already successful. Looking at what you got as a reflection of your inner state, and realize that God provides the customers and the business, and if you kind of do a little bit more stewarding, it's definitely helpful. But it sounds like somebody's here, so I'll let you guys go. Thanks for listening, and have a good rest of your now, and God bless.